Welcome to Roofing Road Trips, the podcast that takes you on a thrilling journey across the world of roofing. From fascinating interviews with roofing experts to on-the-road adventures, we'll uncover the stories, innovations, and challenges that shape the rooftops over our heads. So fasten your seatbelts and join us as we embark on this exciting roofing road trip.
Hello and welcome to Roofing Road Trips from Roofer's Coffee Shop. My name is Heidi Ellsworth and we're here today. One of the most exciting things about being able to be with Roofer's Coffee Shop and get the information out is to talk about new innovations and new products. Bringing them to the market is so much fun. And I am so proud today to be here with Eric Cochran, who is one of the founders and owners of a new product that is coming out that is going to be revolutionary, and that is SoyLei. Eric, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Heidi, for having us on.
I am so excited to talk about this product and what you're doing, but let's start out with some introductions. If you could introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you and about your company.
Yeah, I'd love to. So my name's Eric Cochran. I live in Ames, Iowa. I've been here for 25 years, born and raised in Rochester, Minnesota. I'm a chemical engineering professor at Iowa State University, and that's really where the origin story of SoyLei Innovation starts.
Well, let's just go right into that because I want to hear it. Give us the whole scoop.
All right. Well, so it actually goes all the way back to 2008, believe it or not.
Wow.
And what happened in 2008 was a supply chain disruption, which we're all used to, unfortunately, these days. But in 2008, it was something of a novelty. So there was a global shortage of a high quality asphalt for paving known as polymer modified asphalt, and completely disrupted the transportation industry for a couple of years. The I-35 that goes right by our little town in Iowa had to be repaved 3 years later because it didn't have that high quality asphalt that it needed for the job. And I work, one of our other co-founders is Professor Chris Williams, who is in the civil engineering department. And one day we were talking, we didn't know each other yet. And he learned that I was doing research in the area of those additives that make that asphalt, the high quality asphalt. And we got to talking. Are there any ways that we could develop these high performance materials locally, domestically, using local feedstocks? And that's how we got into this whole research program of making new molecules out of the things that we had around. And in Iowa, that's a lot of soy. So we got really good at modifying soybean oil. And
Wow.
there's a whole long list of inventions that came out of that, both big molecules, rubbers, elastomers, and also a lot of these smaller molecules that are designed to chemically react with asphalt to improve their properties. And that's really the science foundation of where SoyLei came from. And in 2020, we've actually founded the company, and there is a platform of various materials that we supply into both the asphalt markets and the roofing industry markets. One thing that asphalt and roofing has in common is asphalt pavements and asphalt shingles are both have a large amount of asphalt binder in them. And all these years of doing pavement research in 2020, we realized, the asphalt shingles could probably use a little bit of tender love and care as well. And we think that our molecules are going to work just as well, if not better, with shingles as they do with asphalt. So that's where it all got started. And a lot of ups and downs with starting a new company, especially when you're trying to hold down a university job at the same time. But it's been an adventure.
Yeah. I mean, when you're doing your double duty there on two jobs, but it is the product that is really needed. And before I have so many things going through my head, Eric. I'm so excited about this. But let's start with if you could explain the product. Let's just start there exactly how it works and how contractors can use it to rejuvenate roofs.
Sure. So Apex 1132 is a roofing maintenance product, and what it does is it restores the ductility and pliability of aged shingles closer to like new condition. And most importantly, it also increases the bonding between the roofing granules and the asphalt binder. As shingles age, as we all know, those that asphalt is taking a lot of sunlight and a lot of heat, and that oxidizes the asphalt, and that's what makes it stiff, and it also changes its chemistry. So it's really the chemistry that allows the asphalt to be attracted and adhere to those roofing granules. And so as the asphalt oxidizes, that bond weakens. And the active ingredient in Apex 1132 is a modified soybean oil that we call CISO, which is an acronym for semi-epoxidized soybean oil. And what that does is the chemically active component of that is attracted to aged asphalt, so that all that oxidation can be expressed with a chemical formula, and the the chemical activity in CISO is designed to seek out and permanently attach itself to those damaged, oxidized chemical sites in the aged shingle. And so, unlike other products in this space, CISO is designed to be both compatible and like to absorb into asphalt. Then it's designed to lock in there and stay there permanently.
Wow. Okay, so a lot of times when we're looking at shingles or roofs overall, we're talking about coatings, right? Just coating it. But what you're talking about is your product, the Apex, actually goes in and creates new binders. And I know I'm saying this in layman terms, but creates those new binders to really, really rejuvenate it, not just coat it.
That's correct. It will penetrate throughout the entire thickness of the shingle, and we've done that. I mean, this we weren't thinking of this as a company when the research started. This was a university research project originally, so we tested everything. So one of the first things we looked at was how far through the shingle does this stuff actually go, and you can see that it will come through the backing of the shingle after a few days of being there on the surface. And then as those shingles continue to take sunlight, that heat is what drives the chemical reaction that fixes that restorative oil into the shingle permanently.
Wow. And then that creates the flexibility to be able to adhere to the granules and keep the granules that are there so, so they
That's
aren't
right.
continuing to see granule loss.
Yes. That's correct. And manufacturers of granules are very concerned, obviously, about the adhesion between asphalt and the granule. I just had a conversation with a granule manufacturer yesterday that wants to do some deep dives with our products, to really prove from their end, how the product modifies the asphalt rheology so that it can impact, because the response of asphalt to stresses is a big part of hail resistance.
True. When you think about that and you think about as the shingles get more brittle, they are much more prone to hail damage. Whereas this and the bonding, I don't want to say softening because it's really not softening of the shingles, but it's just rejuvenating the asphalt that's there, making it more flexible. Is that
Yeah, well,
correct?
it's a balance. If you use too much, especially some of these soy methyl ester products that have extremely high affinity to actually soak into asphalt, you can get to the point where your shingles are too soft.
Okay.
Um, so the asphalt in shingles isn't just asphalt; it's asphalt mixed with a lot of things, rubber being one of them. So the whole concept of hail resistance in an asphalt shingle is if the asphalt is too stiff, it's like impact on glass. If
Right.
it's too soft, it's just going to go smoosh and deform away. And there's this Goldilocks zone where the asphalt has just the right stiffness, and then the rubber in there acts like springs. So when there's an impact, it deforms, but like a rubber band, it's going to come back.
Yeah.
And the softness of the asphalt has to be in that Goldilocks zone in order for the rubber to do its job.
That is cool. So, that leads me to a really interesting question is there are different types of shingles out there, right? There's rubber modified, or SBS modified shingles, there's non-modified asphalt shingles, there's, different things. This works across the board, right?
because it's the chemistry that's permanently attaching to the asphalt molecules and finding that Goldilocks zone of the ideal softness, stiffness, balance. And then there's the granule adhesion that's restored as well by permanently modifying the chemistry of oxidized asphalt.
Yeah. When you as contractors are listening to this, I'm sure they're kind of thinking like when, right? When is it aged enough that it should that it's ready for SoyLei, SoyLei, and when is that golden point? How do they know?
Well, what I would encourage roofing contractors to think of this product as is a very important component of a roofing maintenance program. So when you buy a car, the dealership isn't just selling you new cars. They like to sell new cars. That's where they make a lot of their money. But where they funnel in and retain customers is helping them take care of the cars they already own. So part of owning a car, you have a lot of preventative maintenance. You bring it in for oil changes. You have belts tightened. With roofs, there's a lot of maintenance that needs to happen as well. You need to keep the gutters clean. You need to make sure that the ceiling, between all the various things that are coming out of your roof is up to date. So the caulk needs to be replaced from time to time. The shingles also need maintenance, and so one of the ways that we encourage you to think about the product is it's an oil change for your roof.
Yeah.
And it's really there's scarcely not an early enough time to start. When we were doing the university research, one of the controls we did was what does the product do to new shingles?
Yeah.
And we designed an abrasion test, which involved a vacuum cleaner. So there was some MacGyvering going on. Um, so we had undergraduates, vacuuming mock roof decks, and so new shingles will lose about 3% of their grit, um, just new with our abrasion test. A treated new roofing deck lost 0.3% of its shingles. So there was a 10 times reduction in the amount of granule loss in brand new shingles. And it's that
Wow.
granule loss that starts the aging process.
Yeah.
So one way that a roofer could create that long lasting relationship with their customer, if they're warranting their job, they could make maintenance a part of that. So we put on your roof if you want our gold package. We can treat it with this product, and that's gonna from day one decelerate the aging process. Or maybe they come back in a year, and so that gives the contractor an opportunity to keep that relationship alive with the customer. It's not just we replaced your roof and we'll never see you again. It's we
Right.
replaced your roof and we're going to make sure that it stays in good shape so that when you sell your home, it's going to have that like new roof component to it that's going to help you have the maximal resale value.
I love that idea of, you know, how often do you do that? Like you said, when you're buying a car, they're like, well, if you want to add on the special coating, wax coating, you can, on your car
Yeah, yeah,
to
it's a
protect
very
it.
right. You don't want your car to rust, right? Why don't you
Right.
put coating on the undercarriage to keep the road salt out of it?
Yeah,
Uh, it's a very similar concept, and it's an upsell, but I think it's a valuable upsell.
I do too. And it's also, you know, as you're looking at that from the point when you put on a new roof, using Apex along the way to make sure that it lasts longer. I mean, how much it can it that can help um ongoing revenue for a contractor because of yearly maintenance and also a much longer lifespan of the roof for the homeowner. But then as contractors are also visiting, working neighborhoods, looking at the different neighborhoods, evaluating roofs, how great is it as a homeowner to have a contractor say, "You know what? You don't have leaks, but if we did this process with Apex, you would you're going to gain years if you do it
Yeah.
now. So it can really hit at any time during that life cycle of the roof as they're inspecting it or as they're talking to, because a lot of times you do one roof in a neighborhood and everybody else wants to know what can they do. Talk to me a little bit about how it
Right.
looks, because I've also, in visiting with you all, after the treatment is put on there, it really gives it a whole new feel and look, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it really makes the original colors pop. So, your roof when it just goes on, whatever color you selected, it's generally like a dark graphite. It looks great, right? And then after 5 years, maybe it's started to weather out, and you can tell it's starting to look grayish. Uh, so yes, the product application does restore a lot of that original color. Um, and because the product is engineered to chemically latch into the shingle permanently, that color restoration is gonna last a lot longer than the competitors.
Yeah. Wow. That is so cool. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what makes your product different, because there are some other products out there and that are, with roof rejuvenation. But I would like to know just kind of how do you see your product as kind of different from what's been on the market?
Well, our product is specifically engineered to be ideal for roofs. So, we've talked about Goldilocks zones already. So, with our chemical modification, there's really only one other company out there that has a chemically active component, but their components are quite toxic and dangerous, and they're actually dissolved in what's essentially gasoline. It's a mixture of light petroleum distillates and biodiesel. And so their applicators literally have to wear respirators to apply the product. Um, so that's one end of the extreme of really going full chemistry. And then the other end you have soy methyl esters, and just there's a lot of just basically salad dressings out there that are just various vegetable oils that have been turned into emulsions to apply to roofs. So what SoyLei has done is, on one end you have vegetable oil, which has really good compatibility with asphalt, and on the other end you have a fully modified soybean oil that has a lot of chemical reactivity, but it doesn't go into asphalt. So things like fully epoxidized soybean oil, we've seen some copycats using, which does overlap on our patent, but it's too functional, and because of that, it doesn't penetrate into the shingle. So what SoyLei has done is it's found that sweet spot right in the middle where you keep the compatibility with asphalt and the reactivity that's going to keep it there, and that's what we mean by when it's an engineered soy derived treatment. Is we've done the tests, we've moved the needle from left to right, and we've kind of zeroed in on where that optimum is.
Yeah. That's that's exciting, and it comes from research. I mean, when you think about what your team has done, at Iowa, it's kind of the American dream, right? The ability to do research, to really learn about it, and then to have, business and enterprise coming out of that. What do you see as you're kind of looking at this, um on the sustainability front? Because to me, just listening to you today, Eric, I'm kind of excited when you think about gas prices, when you think about what's going on with asphalt, the supply chains, what's everything that's happening with the economy and in the world market. To be able to have products like this that is renewable, that is plant-based, I mean, that really brings a whole different level, and the fact that we're gonna be keeping roofs out of landfills longer. What are some of the things that you've been hearing, and as you talk to your contractors, just as you develop this from a sustainability viewpoint?
Well, the sustainability starts with the oil itself. It's soybean oil that's
Mhm.
been modified with essentially oxygen. So our chemical reaction uses hydrogen peroxide, which is the same stuff you use to whiten your teeth, right? So it's pretty benign ingredients. The end product is also benign. It's non-toxic. It's not great for like delicate ornamentals, but it's not gonna kill your lawn. It's not going to damage your vinyl siding. Um, some of
That's
these
good.
products are not good to be exposed to plastic. So, for example, a fully epoxidized soybean oil is a plasticizer that they use to make vinyl upholstery with. You don't want that on your You don't want that um, on your vinyl gutters. You don't want that on your vinyl siding. You don't want it on the taillights of your car. It's going to damage the plastic. Um, so the sustainability and the safety of our product is one big thing. Looking more broadly, what does it do for the shingle industry? If you're replacing roofs less often, that's less shingle recycling that you have to do. And then let's look at the end of life for shingle recycling. Our original application for our active ingredient was for asphalt recycling. And we have active collaborations with shingle recyclers right now that mechanically separate the asphalt component of tear-off shingles from the granule, and our product um, restores that end-of-life asphalt to paving grade quality that can go
Wow.
back and become pavement, or even go back into shingle manufacturing to become brand new shingles.
That's incredible. When you think and if it's already on the shingles, does that make it even easier as it's processing?
So if the shingles have already been treated through life, yeah, they're going to be highly recyclable compared to shingles that haven't. They've already been treated with those recycling agents, so
Wow.
they'll be ready for another round.
Yeah. Wow, that is cool. Okay, so let's talk about how I mean, right now I know there's a number of contractors out there who are going, "Okay, I want this stuff. How do I do it?" Let's talk about that. How do they get started using the product and what kind of training is involved? Kind of talk us through that.
Sure, I'd love to. One of the things that we've noticed as we've gotten into this business is a lot of our competitors are really hard to work with.
Yeah.
So if you want to be an applicator, you've got to pay them tens of thousands of dollars, buy their equipment, and you'll often be locked into multi-year contracts and have minimum purchase commitments. If you want to try our product, you can go on to Amazon today and buy a gallon of it for $200. It's actually on sale right now for 180, so it's not even that. That 1 gallon is going to treat 12 roofing squares. So if you our Amazon pricing will cost you less than contractor pricing will with a lot of our contractors. So that works out to be on the $15 to $16 per square cost for the Amazon price point. Um, you'll need about 2 gallons to do an average roof. If you want more than that, we sell as little as 5 gallon pails directly, and you can get quoting from us just by using the contact us form on our website. We'll usually call back or respond within 2 to 4 hours. We sell pails, any number of pails. You can have one, you can have three, you can have a full pallet. We also package in drums, we package in totes, and if you're really a go-getter, you can have your own tanker of the product. But that's quite a few roofs that's going to treat. We Our product is also unique in that it's a 5-to-1 concentrate. So that 1 gallon is diluted into 6 gallons total. And then those 6 gallons are applied at 1 gallon per 200 square feet. And so that's how you get to the 12 squares per gallon of concentrate that you buy. Then they can use any sprayer. So whatever, there's a lot of sprayers on the market. We're shooting some videos right now, and we're just using a DeWalt backpack sprayer um, that we got from our local Lowe's. So nothing special, nothing magical. You just want to kind of tune in that 1 gallon per 200 square feet of the diluted product application rate. So whatever's comfortable for you, whatever keeps you safe up on the roof. Um, we're not going to tell you how to do your job. We had one inquiry the other day. Somebody asked if could you do it with a paint roller, and there's really no reason why they couldn't, other than the fact that it's going to be harder to control the application rate, and it's going to take a lot longer to do the job with a paint roller than just using a backpack sprayer. We've got You got people wondering if they can do it with drones, and that's another kind of exciting new angle that you could explore as well.
Yeah.
Um, so we're not gonna tell you how to do your job. We're here to supply product. We're happy to explain how it works. We don't have like a huge training program. So if there's somebody that like is wanting to get into this but they don't know how to do it, we do work with other distributors that have been doing this for a very long time, and they will give you the white glove treatment. They'll give you your own branding. They'll give you Facebook ads. They'll give you a CRM, um, uh, automated invoicing and customer outreach, all of that stuff. And so that would be Roof Reset. So roof-reset.com is the distributor that's offering that elevated level of service. But if you know what you're doing, you can just buy directly from us, and you'll pay a lower cost per gallon that way.
That's great. That because it really, you talked about this earlier, and I think this is so important, is one of the things that we've been advocating and that is definitely on the trending up is for residential service and maintenance. We have had commercial service and maintenance for very long, very profitable. A lot of commercial roofing contractors are using it. But residential is just really starting to take off. And this is perfect. This is perfect for any residential roofing company out there to be able to have a service and maintenance department, just like they would on a commercial side, and have these products and be able to put a couple crews together because they already know how to do it. They already understand how this all works. So, Eric, congratulations. This is really exciting.
It is. It is. We're just stoked. We work long hours, but it's just pure adrenaline. It's not drudgery at all.
Yeah. And before we leave, I do want to kind of go back and just touch on your patent. So this is all patented.
That's right. We're one of the few patented products out there. There's a whole family of intellectual property behind the molecules, but there's one that specifically covers the emulsions and the roofing maintenance and the paving maintenance, and that was issued just a couple of years ago.
That's great. That's great.
Yep.
Everyone out there, you can find all this information on Roofers Coffee Shop. SoyLei has its own directory. We have articles, obviously this podcast. We're going to have a lot of opportunities for you to connect. And the thing that is so cool, I know it's different for this industry, but you can just buy this on Amazon. So if you want to try it out and see if everything that Eric says is true, get a couple gallons and try it out on a roof and see how great it works for you. So, Eric, thank you so much. We are going to be watching. You and I are going to be back and kind of talking about some of the contractor experiences in a couple months here. And I'm really excited to watch this product grow. I see a lot happening.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, again, appreciate the invitation to be on today. It was really good to have an opportunity to talk about the product.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for listening. This is what Roofing Road Trips is all about. Today, we virtually went to Iowa to see what was happening there. And these are the kind of innovations that can really change your business. And please look into this for your starting your own service and maintenance program with your residential roofing company, or just doing this on the side. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for this with homeowners. Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you again. And please check out all of our podcasts and the RLW navigation. Be sure to subscribe and set those notifications. We'll be seeing you next time on Roofing Road Trips.
If you've enjoyed the ride, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us on every roofing adventure. Make sure to visit rooferscoffeeshop.com to learn more. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next Roofing Road Trip.